Hi, everybody. I'm Charlene Shirk. I am your host of Digital Champions, where we get to speak to some of the most innovative minds in the digital space. And we're excited to have Jandra Sutton with the Wildest Co joining us today from beautiful, fabulous Nashville. Thanks for joining us, Jandra.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're a lucky woman over there. What a beautiful place. And so let's talk about, you are a Nashville-based creative agency. So tell us a little more, and what's your specialty with what you do?
So one of our specialties is actually that we provide a pretty wide range of services for our clients. So we really specialize in content creation. We do a little bit of branding, marketing, PR, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, we found that many of the clients that we were working with, especially during the pandemic, because we are a company that launched last year during the pandemic, were looking for more flexible service providers, people who could provide a high quality service while having the flexibility to pivot during a really difficult time for all of us as business owners.
Wasn't that the term of that pivot? I mean, from a business perspective, pivot, how are you going to pivot? So let's talk about when you said that you started your company during this time period. What was the problem that the companies were coming to you that you needed to solve in the middle of pivoting?
So it was definitely, I think, the biggest pain point that all of our clients were having was finding a service provider that they could trust to provide a wide range of services, or to simply be honest about what they could and couldn't do, and having the network to refer those other services out. I think a lot of my clients were very frustrated that they had to lock into something in a time that was very difficult to commit to one thing. And they were really struggling with finding flexible service providers that were affordable, who were still very, very competent, very good at what they did, and that they could trust.
And so tell me what you think is coming up in the next 2 years. I feel like we're still kind of stuck in that year and this year now, but what do you foresee on the future in the digital space for the next couple of years?
I suspect we're going to continue to see a really big focus on video, especially short form video. Given the rising popularity of TikTok, and now with Instagram pivoting to being a video platform versus a photo sharing app, I think we're going to continue to see that video forward push when it comes to marketing across all different platforms.
So if that's where you see the market going, what is a tip that you would give to your customers or the folks listening to here today?
Yeah, so my best tip when it comes to video is to just join those platforms and observe first. Even if you don't feel confident on video, even if you don't feel confident hopping right into TikTok. You know, I joined TikTok pretty early because I like experimenting with different social media platforms. My first few months on the platform was just watching, just observing the different trends, observing how different sub-communities on the app operate, because you might hear TikTok, and as a business owner who's definitely not a Gen Z, you might think, well, there's no room for me on that community, but the sub-communities on TikTok are thriving. But you have to spend time on the apps, observing and learning before you can jump right in with creating content. Because I do see, unfortunately, a lot of business owners who do jump right into creating content on those apps, and they end up kind of missing the mark because they're doing what worked for other platforms, and they haven't done any of the research, any of the get to know you phase with that particular audience and that particular type of video content, if that makes sense.
Oh, and work with someone like you who can help them navigate that, because once you're out there in video, it lives on forever now.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is having a lot of different experience on a lot of different social media platforms. I've been working in social media for 10 plus years. I've been on every single platform, and now using TikTok myself, I've got 50,000 followers. So I've experienced what it's like to be in the audience building phase, figuring out the type of content that works best on those mediums, and also how to transfer your audience from one platform to another, because I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with.
Jandra, those are very good points. Thank you so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it was our pleasure. And if you'd like to check out more about what her organization is doing and all this great advice she just gave us, you can check us out on dailyadbrief.com. And until then, my name is Charlene Shirk, and I am your host of Digital Champions, and we'll see you next time.